Hello and welcome to a new Distant Worlds 2 playthrough with the return of the Shakturi expansion pack. So we are going to start a new campaign to go along with the new patch and expansion, and we'll talk through some of the features as we go through them. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pick a standard spiral galaxy shape, 700 stars. I lowered the nebula density to sparse, and then the galaxy size we'll leave at 6x6. I'm finding these games to be a little easier to play, get a little less lag on the save, and sticking under 20-ish episodes or so for a campaign is a little bit better than dragging out to 40-50 episodes. So let's go ahead and keep rolling with that. As far as the galaxy settings, let's start at pre-warp with a pre-warp tech level. We'll leave it at restless aggression, change the difficulty to extreme, hostile players normal, research speed very slow, and then visibility will make it all visible, fixed paths, and no tech trading is a change from the default. So we'll roll with that, which is what my typical settings are. And then pirates, we're going to bump them up to very many, very strong, average proximity. They do respawn. We'll leave space creatures as normal. Although, you know what, I'm going to actually bump that up to many because one of the new expansion features has to do with control of space creatures. So we'll bump that up a little. As far as this goes, we'll leave everything on default except for independent colonies. I lowered them from normal to rare. So we'll see what that looks like. I think we're gonna go with Mortalens this time around. We've already done the Day with the Gazurians, the Konish, the Human, and the Tikan. I think we'll go with the Mortalens because I feel like, given the nature of the expansion, I'm gonna end up at war a lot, and I think an aggressive race would be a good one to start with. And then maybe in the future we'll look at some of these other options. Government-wise, we really can... It says right here that the preference is... Where does it say the preference? It says somewhere here. Yeah, military dictatorship and feudalism are the preferred government types. I don't know if there's been any changes specifically to this, but if you look at military dictatorship, the leader, when they get replaced every 60 years, comes from your admirals and generals, which means it's not spawning a new character, which means all of those leader bonuses that you get by building those the government buildings on your colonies, I don't think it applies to this. I don't think it would have any effect on them. However, if you do feudalism, it does an appointment of a new character, which means a new spawned character, which should apply all those bonuses to it, unless they change something with the bonuses. So we're going to go ahead and start with a feudalistic society. We're going to make the Catharian Empire. We'll stick with the orange flag. I don't think there's usually anybody that has that similar color. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say normal, starting pre-warp, and random location. We'll leave this at, you know what, we'll leave it at 12. That's fine. We'll take the default on that. Victory conditions, we will leave at standard. This is a new option here. The Return of the Shakturi storyline. We'll leave that normal for now, and we'll kind of go from there. And let's go ahead and get started. So I don't know if you've read any of the notes on the new expansion, but there's a patch that kind of coupled with it. They've done a lot of revamping of some of the systems. There's new diplomacy mechanisms where you can make essentially a federation and do group diplomacy. One difference is just because you're the biggest doesn't mean you'll always get what you want, because some things, when you vote on them, will only do if it's unanimous voting. And then there's new message settings, as we could see over here, so I'm definitely going to have to play around with that as we go along. And there's some changes to the AI and automation when it comes to wars, as far as declaring your intent for invading versus bombarding, all the different planets that you can look at. So let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we're at the very edge of the universe, which I am actually a little bit nervous about, but that's okay. Let's see, where's the next nearest system? It's actually pretty far away. This is not a great start location, but we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and look at our different situations here. So I do like to allow a little bit of time for us to potentially get a crash research here. But if not, we'll have to go ahead and try to buy something here. Let's look at our menu options and just check all of our settings. I do like to manually control the funding levels, so let's change this to 80-20. We'll leave this on 100 for now, just because we're not doing anything with those at the moment. Policy settings, we're going to go through colonization. We can suggest and execute. Well, let's just suggest for now. Population policy can be fully automated. Updating or upgrading, that can be automatic. Automatic. Terraforming, we can leave automatic. Yeah, I think pretty much everything is going to be automatic. Funding levels is manual, but the rest of this can be automatic. We can suggest ship construction. We can automate base construction. And the reparation of abandoned stuff, we can automate that as well. I do want all of this to be automated. I will leave ship and base design automated for the time being, but I might toggle that back to manual, just depending on how it goes. Sometimes I like a little more granular control over that. It can be a little iffy at times. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next things. We got intelligence missions. We'll leave those. Treaties, we'll leave it at suggestions for all these. War missions is something new that they're adding, so there's both storyline war missions and just generic war missions that give you boosts if you do certain things. So there might be a building on a planet it tells you to destroy. That'll give you like a war weariness reduction temporarily, stuff like that. So that looks pretty interesting. You want all of this. Fleet formation can be manual, postures manual. Fleet ship management, the top up for fleets, I will leave that as automated. Let's see what else we got going on here. Exploration, investigate rooms, report major. I don't need to know every little thing. It is a little bit of a bummer that this resets every time. I think we can, this says custom, but I wish you could make a template and save it. That would be really nice. All right, colonization. We can fully automate this. Minimum suitability is 20. All right, all the tax rate stuff we can leave automated. These target rates look okay for now. We could leave construction automated. State ships are prioritized. That's good. I think I do want a higher priority for spaceports just because of the technology. Because the spaceports will have a research lab on them, and that increases your research. Monitoring station. feel like the AI had never builds these. Up front, I definitely want exploration. I am a fan of torpedoes and railguns. Not a super big fan of missiles. I don't really know why. There's no reason in particular. I just not as big of a fan. We'll do gravitic. Bombard would be the railguns because that will do military damage, but not population or planet damage. I think we want high priority in fighter bays. Shield focus could be strength. Hyperdrive focus can be speed. I think raw thrust, the right thing there. Okay, we want to eliminate enemy troops. I don't know about facilities, so we'll just leave it on that for now. Manually assign bombard missions, follow policy, yes. Right, so I want to capture. Yeah, when high tech or larger than can build. Actually, just when stronger. Disassemble at base. Protecting resources. We could always enlist the civilian ships. Yeah, we'll leave those at only when higher tech. So we could say to always upgrade enlisted military ships and civilian ships. Oh, change empire. You know, I vented quite a while ago about the manual process of recruiting, like clicking to buy new or like buy characters. But if I just do this, will that just automatically buy them off? Kind of like that option. So I still want automatic repairs and retrofitting of manual fleets. I think that's fine. Troops, we want normal for now, but we'll probably ramp up a higher attack level at some point in the future. Actually, let's just do normal and high right now. It's not going to happen right away. Fleet posturing, I do want manual because that way I can control where they're stationed and they won't be moving around on me all the time. Yeah, the only thing I want is topping up. We already looked at research. That's fine. All right. Intelligence missions, at least up front. I want very aggressive. Low caution. I don't need to steal anything but tech. This is the only thing I care about right now. Although, manually, I'm sure we will... we'll allow internal stabilization too. But the manual process of... I think it goes with that new mission functionality where you can target a specific building on a specific planet to take it over or to destroy it. And that would potentially be super beneficial. So let's go ahead and, whoo, that is a lot of filters. We're going to have to just mess with these as we go along. Yeah, I don't know what I want or not yet. So we're going to give that a little bit of time. Let's change this to focused and just see what that experience is like for a while. And then we'll kind of go from there. All right, combat messages. Let's change that to focused. Galaxy News we could leave on. We don't get too much of that. All right, so I think we are finally ready to begin actually playing. And I feel like we have to start with an exploration ship and maybe a construction ship. I think we're already building those things, but we probably want 2 of those and a small spaceport. Although I'm sure all of it's going to get destroyed almost immediately by pirates. But we're going to try and see what happens. So we got some ancient runes here. Oh, see, there we go. We immediately jump to warp field experiments, crash researching that. So definitely looking forward to skip drive and seeing what that brings to us. Starfighter 0G combat shipboarding, so we have that almost right away. All exciting stuff. I'm hoping this means that pirates invading us will be kind of held at bay a little bit because we have troops on our planet already. But we'll see. Still research for now. Certainly have not explored anything at the moment. We just gotta wait for this stuff to build out. I'm gonna go to 2x speed just to make this stuff move a little bit quicker. It did put this spaceport to the front of the queue, which is a little bit brutal, because I'm missing out on exploration ships and stuff being able to move around and start scanning. But I think in the long run, it's probably better to have it. There was a new feature, I kind of glossed over it, but during the creation of your campaign, there is an option to start off as just a ship, or a fleet of ships, kind of a la Battlestar Galactica, where you have a colony ship and a couple other ships, and you don't have any planet at all to start with, and you need to fly around and find a planet. I didn't start with that. I probably should have. I thought about it, but I did not. I'm curious to see how the end game crisis plays out. That is very interesting to me. All right, the spaceport is starting to get up and running as soon as the hangar is done. I'm hoping, yeah, it's starting to build some of its own ships. So it's building a freighter on the spaceport now. Not limited just to this. All right, so spaceport is constructed. We can see all sorts of stuff is now moved over to that as far as construction goes. I think it's always really important to start with warp drive, because that significantly increases your mobility and ability to explore. Okay, we got our first ship built. This is a trading ship. I don't know who it's going to trade with. All right, here we go. We got a scout ship that's going to explore. This scout ship should be done relatively soon as well. I don't really know how there's already a retrofit for this. We haven't discovered any new techs. All right, looks like our exploration ship has finished scanning our planet. We have some other mineral on there. We also have another survey ship completed. So I think at this point we have 2 that are flying around and starting to survey stuff. One of them's looking like it's going to survey totally different. Where's he going? Over there? No, that's not good. Go scan over here. I don't want them taking so much time to fly over there and then we get warp field skip drives like really soon. I want them to stay local to where they are. Right, I am gonna go scan the moon because I think there's enough time to do that. And it's relatively close. Alright, this guy's going to build a mining station somewhere. I'm hoping we uncover more resources in this asteroid belt. What would be pretty devastating is if we actually had a critical research failure. That would be super, super bad right now. Alright, well, once this is built, at least our haulers will have something to do, and they'll be able to get some steel and some Mebnar returned back to our home planet. This actually has some better resources down here. Probably should have built something over in this area. Alright, we got some Aculon on this moon. That's good. That's a resource we're going to commonly need at the beginning of the game. Alright, we got our first mining station built. Oh yeah, there's a good amount of Mebnar down here. Why are you building there and not here? I didn't think I automated the construction of military ships. If I did, I need to make sure not to do that, because I do not need military ships right now. Or I wonder if some of them started automatically queued up. That could be. Right, we are still scanning this planet. I got to imagine this is going to be the next spot they try to build something. Right, we are really close to being done with this. Warp field experiments we can redesign with the skip drive. Pretty much all of our ships. And then once we retrofit, we'll be good to start bouncing all over the galaxy. Well, maybe not the galaxy, but our immediate solar system for sure. Let's start heading back towards the spaceport because we know that's where we're going to have to go to retrofit anyway. All right, here we go. We hit 100%. We now have the hyperspace tech unlocked. So let's go ahead and I think we actually have it set to automatically retrofit. So they possibly have already retrofit. Take a quick look. Yep, they have a skip drive. So let's go ahead and set these back to fully automatic. And we'll clear your existing mission. Means you should already be heading in for a retrofit. I do want to build some more scout ships, so I am going to churn out like 5 more. Even if it's from the planet where it's going to be a little slower, I want to leave the spaceport open to handle all these retrofits. Although that shouldn't take terribly long. But exploration and early migration are kind of cornerstones of a successful run I've found over the time that we've been playing this. There we go. We got our first hyper jump. Yep, you're going to get that Kazlon. Go for the gas giants. The only downside is you also end up surveying. Sorry, my brain just kind of froze there for a second. The only downside to surveying a bunch of areas is you're bound to uncover pirates pretty quickly, which means they're going to start raiding the planet and being a nightmare to deal with. But we're going to get early deflectors going. I do not have... Yeah, well, let's queue up research labs, even though we're not going to do that right away. The good news about finding pirates is we can start stealing tech from them. But yeah, let's try to get research labs off the ground next, because that is just going to make things better overall. Yeah, this retrofitting is not done yet, or the construction needs new ships. So I am pretty grateful that we queued up the exploration ships on the planet. Change that to focus. We are surprisingly creeping towards cash positive. I'll take it. What are we doing mining wise? Looks like we are getting... Well, we already have a mining station up and running over here, it looks like. So why does it still say we are building one? Oh, that's the construction ship. It's building the mining station, which already has resources like cargo getting put onto it because we have a cargo hold built. Well, that's pretty cool. Definitely got to build there. We need that Kazlon. That always ends up being a pretty tight resource that we need a lot of. Probably build some more construction ships given the need. Let's start with 3 more and we'll go from there. Oh, it's surveying the star. All right, well, we are off to an okay start. We are getting early deflectors up and running, followed by research labs. I'm sure we're gonna find pirates any second now. We're focusing heavily on exploration, which makes sense at the beginning of the game. We probably can't reach any other system right now other than our home system. That does appear to be the case in general. Like, even this will barely touch that and will not reach that. So until we get better fuel or better hyperdrives, we will not be able to do what we need to do there. This was a research center, so we should have gotten some bump in research just by having that built. That actually quadrupled our research, so our output should be pretty significantly better. That's went from 16 years to 10 years, so that's, you know, a respectable move. But I think I'm just gonna call an episode there. There's not much else to do than wait for some of this exploration and construction to happen. We have several areas getting built out. We have a lot more exploration to go, and as they find more stuff, they will continue to need to build new mining stations and whatnot to gather those new resources. Hopefully, relatively quick, we will be able to get a better hyperdrive and a better fuel storage system. Let's go just real quick. Let's take a quick scan at that and see what that looks like. So that's like 13 years out, but we can add that to the queue. And then if we look at hyperdrive tech, stable warp fields is 20 years. That's going to get better as we get more research on board. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for the time being, it is what it is. Feudal control. It'll be interesting to see how the feudal government system works. I don't know if I've ever played with that yet. We do have a spy, but there's nobody to spy on at the moment. But as soon as I possibly can, I'm going to shove him into trying to steal tech from somebody, whether it's a pirate or another player. We'll see what that pans out to be. But thank you for watching. I'm super excited to play a little more on this campaign and get a little deeper in and start seeing some of the new expansion features. I'm particularly interested in the alliances, which, to be honest, I'm probably not going to be part of, but I'm probably going to be attacking an alliance. And then I'm excited to see some of the new war goals, or the war missions, I should say, and a little bit more on the automation front when it comes to enemy targets and setting the different priorities and just seeing how the AI handles stuff now with this new patch and expansion. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, see more content in the future, and we will catch you in the next episode where hopefully we continue to grow and not get immediately annihilated by pirates. Thanks for watching.